𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 お願いします。
お願いします。
Great. We'll just start a little bit of loosening routine. So with the stick, just control with the heart, nice and loose. Yes. Step the leg out a little bit further. Take into rotation. Great, coming back into it nice and gently, bending down. A little bit of bend in the legs, and coming up to the top, stretching up, a little bit of a bend towards the back, not too far. Perfect. Okay, and then do a little bit of bend to the sides. Just take the outside foot, take it out to the side. And up it gently. Back to the center, take the other foot out, take it to the other side, lengthen down the side. On the other side. On the side. Back to the center with the as wide as you can with the arms, going up over the top, opening up, taking it over the back. So you can take it all the way nice and controlled. Slow. That's it, great. One more time. Switch into the back with the thumbs kind of pointing together, a little bit narrower with the hands. And bend down. If you feel kind of too much strain on the legs, start to bend the knees, but really to open the shoulders a little bit. Take them up over the head and drop. And you can either look down or look in between the legs. Just nice and slowly coming back up. Gently pushing down on the stick. Just bending the back a little bit. And repeating coming down from the hips. Lifting the arms over the head, nice and slow. Coming up, pressing out a little bit. Last time, coming down. Pressing down gently. Okay, I'm just bringing the stick in front. Again, take as wide as you can. Take the legs a little bit wider. I'm just going to take the body in a circle. Then I'm taking the opposite hand to foot. To the top, let the body swing down. Goes wide, feels comfortable. The legs. Nice smooth movement all the way. And then the next one down, just pause at the bottom. And just reverse the direction, the circle. Away. Just one more. And then when you reach the bottom, just let the body relax towards the bottom. Shorten the grip a little bit, just let the weight settle down. Relax the head, relax the neck. So just walking the feet together. Keep the body folded forwards. Release the head as much as you can. Great. And just bending the knees nice and slowly. Curl up through the spine. Just the same, just reaching up to the top, nice and high. The shoulder width with the grip. And then from here, you're going to extend out. Bend the knees a little bit. Keep the weight extended out. The arms extended out. Go through. And then bend the knees, curl all the way up through the spine. Nice and slow. Reaching up. Extending out. Let the body relax at the bottom. Last time, reaching up. Bringing down. Okay, great. Just take the legs a little bit wide. You can have the feet kind of 45 degrees out, pointed out. Just going to relax down. You can keep the stick near just on the upper leg. Just want to release the hips a little bit. Go side to side. You can go up and down a little bit. Releasing the back. Just take the stick in one side and bend towards that leg. Straighten the other. Coming back to the middle, changing the stick, the other arm, bending the other leg. Same again, changing over. And changing again. And then you can stick to the same change in the side, or if you can, just go a little bit deeper. Take the toes pointing up on the stretched leg. If that's comfortable. If not, just stick to the other one. Switching over to the side. Right, we'll just go down, just leave the stick in the ground, leaving the bottom leg on the ground. Just loosen the hip out to the front, so just going to bring it back. Stretch into the knee. And into the leg. Great, then we'll just switch the leg. Same. Loosen it out. Both knees down, just planting the hands into the ground. You can do is keeping the elbows straight,
Or what you're going to do is just going to open and close the shoulders as if you're kind of squeezing a ball to the back of the shoulder blades. You know, lengthen, open it out. A little bit of weight in the arms, but also keep some in the knees. Perfect. Right, and then from here, just find the toes, and then you're going to lift the hips up, push into the hands, lengthening through the feet, and just walk it out with the heels at the back. Just going to press the heels down, alternating. Keep the pressure in the hands, keep the hips high. And just pressing both heels back, down. Okay, release the knees, walk the feet towards the hands. Pressing the palms into the ground, release the knees as much as you need to. Let the head relax. Great. And just slowly bringing the body up to stand. Shake out the wrists a little bit at the top. Great, and then circling the arms, make them nice and heavy. Take it into the whole body, so the feet stay planted. Look at wave or a pulse go through the body. So perfect. And we'll just take this into a little bit of dynamic swing. So bring the arms up, drop the weight down, bending the knees, extending the hips gently back, keeping the length in the spine. Great. Good. Great, just a few more swings. Okay, just coming up straight, letting the arms just hang to the side. Take this to a side swing, so you're going to bring the arms out to the side. You're going to gently twist the hip a little bit and bring the arm to bring the hand to the shoulder. Just letting the weight drop. In the same way you did with this one, but this time I'm just going to slightly focus a little bit more on one side. So it's going to be the same, you're going to drop towards the leg, the same side hand is kind of swinging to that shoulder. So just let the weight sink into that side. That's it. And what you're looking for in a way is like I make contact and then the arm just kind of releases. So no feeling kind of holding the limb, just letting it swing across and back. You've got those kind of heavy arms like ropes. So, right. And just a few more. Great, and then just letting the arms hang down. We'll go into a kind of one where we're going to kind of open the shoulders into a circle, but we'll just start with just kind of swinging them front and back. You just want to be aware of again the movement of the hips, and in this case, really let the body kind of swing, or the center of the body is going to kind of rotate to either side. So the easiest way, if you think about this, you've got this kind of 90 degrees when I'm in the center, the arms are dangling, and then as you reach one arm forward, just let the body kind of take a bit like a 45-degree angle, and then you're going to go through the center line to the other side. That's it. So you're just looking for the shoulders through the opener. At the same time, let the hips guide the hands. That's perfect. Nice. That's it. As you do this, just think of the elbows being really heavy. So as you As you do this, just start to increase the movement of the arms so that the hands can start to float above the head, just directly above the center line. You're looking to bring into alignment the center line of the head, all the way through the spine to the center of the base, between the 2 feet. Perfect. And you can stay at this one, or if you can, just see if you can take it to a full circle. So you basically now letting the arm travel one direction this way, and the other arm at the same time is going to go in the opposite direction. If you get stuck with it, just come back to this one and find in that head. So just let it swing through. The momentum of the arm. Find the center line. Balance in the center of the base. And every so often just switch the direction of the arms. So you can do 2 ways. Perfect. Yeah, good. Okay, and then the last one is kind of bringing these together. We'll just work one arm first. The free hand, just kind of place it by the center line. You're going to take the arm into a kind of figure of 8 motion. So again, the key thing is that the hand and the hip are basically working together. And I want first just kind of create a connection that the hip and the hand move together. And then once you've got that feeling, feel that the hip is actually, as the hip rotates, actually starting to communicate into the hand. So just create a kind of elastic connection between the hip and the hand. So, and again, keeping the weight down, especially as you kind of reach the hand out to the front. Let the weight stay down. Need to stay relaxed. Just want to generate this feeling again, like the center of the body is controlling the hand in all parts of the movement. So often just change the hand. Just trying to generate this feeling connection. Keep the hips free. Good. And then with that, just start to take it into both hands. So one hand leads, and then the other takes over. Kind of dragging the arms through water. Quality again. Keeping the shoulder relaxed. And as much as possible, trying to keep the body in the center line. So not so much kind of swinging out, just letting the weight sink through the middle of the feet. So perfect. Perfect. Okay, great. Keep that feeling in the body. We're just going to take it to the Joe. So again, we'll just start with one side. See if you can take it straight away into this figure of 8 movement. If you get kind of lost with it, just take it back to this. The key thing with this again is that the hip is controlling the hand, and then the connection of the hand to the stick is just going to start to take the Joe into this kind of figure of 8 pattern. So it's just kind of extension of the last movement we were doing. A little bit more weight down in the front, so that's kind of let the weight settle in a little bit more. And every so often just change the side, change left to right. And then just see if you can progress this too, changing the hand underneath every time. So as you take the hand across the side, you're going to release it so the thumb kind of faces forward here. Change the hand. Take it the other way. You can do this every time. You can kind of do a few with one hand and then change it. Just want to kind of smooth transition. That's it. That's it. Great. Good. So.
I don't get it, Michael.
What do you, where are you getting stuck? Or where are you feeling getting stuck? Let me see. Let's see. Okay, the best thing to do with this, we start with this exercise. So you just kind of roll in the forearm. Just do one side, kind of roll in the forearm. The key with this is that the wrist and the forearm are doing a movement. So what you can also do is kind of just gently kind of put your other hand just underneath the elbow. And when I kind of I want to rest the elbow into the hand a little bit. And then I just want to feel the elbow can rest down. And at the same time, the forearm can make that rotation. That's it. So most of the movement's coming from that part of the arm. And then from here, just let that arm kind of slide through. So you're just going to kind of glide the forearm down the hand. And again, keep this kind of into the body. That's it. That's it. That's it. And again, you can use the other hand to kind of guide, just to kind of let it through that way. Now, from that, see if you can take it into figure of eight. So what you're doing, rather than the hip just kind of pressing forward, it's going to arc that way. So it's kind of take a side. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. And again, most of the movement is coming from the wrist and the forearm. So again, I can kind of trap it to the arm, to the body, and all that movement's kind of coming from the forearm. Now, I want a little bit of freedom with the elbow so that it can move, but I'm trying to avoid, in this case, the up shoulder, basically doing that kind of movement. Put a lot of pressure on the shoulder as well. So, and also just makes it really quite efficient if you do keep the shoulder down. That's it. That's it. That's it. And then just look at the same on the other side. So you want the same kind of idea. The forearm does all the rotation with the wrist. Again, you can brace the arm a little bit. Just so I get a feeling that the elbow being able to stay down, stay low. So, and then once you've got that, just have a feeling you can kind of extend it out. And again, the key is that we're going to just guide the movement a little bit so the hip, as if it's kind of pressing it out and pulling it back. That's it. And then just see if you can take it. Think about the hip rolling with this movement. You can also think about with the tip of with the weapon. So if you're drawing like an infinity symbol, figure of 8 on its side, tip. So you're that to roll. Yeah. Now what we'll do is bring the weapon, keep the grip kind of lightish, but keep that motion going. It's a little bit like a kind of kayaking motion, but not kind of with the hands split, with both kind of thumbs pointing up in this case. And again, just keep that feeling that the wrist of the forearms can really kind of mobilize that way. And again, if you want to kind of drive it with the hip, that's it. That's it. Got it.
Thank you. What about this transition?
Yeah, and then the transition, what we do with the, when you want to do the transition, just one step before that, what I want you to feel that one hand leads the movement. So the other hand just let it kind of float off. So you've got this kind of transition. Now, when we make the transition we were doing before, you've got a kind of extra rotation with it. So there's a kind of extra one. We'll do that one next, but just feel that you can basically switch the grip and the hand. That's it. That's it. Now the transition that we're doing is this way. What you want is, we go back to that first step where you just kind of rotate in this way. Now when you want to do the Joe, you're going to bring the palms face up and you're going to bring the other hand in so that you go like little fingers together. So it goes like that, little fingers come together, and then I let the other hand take it. So just play like you do a few times, and then as soon as I want to switch it, bring the palm up, bring that hand underneath, and just switch it out. Yeah, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's it. That's it. And if you just want to get used to change every rotation, just bringing that hand in. That's it. That's it. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Again, the same progression. Look for this kind of slight extension out. Just switching the grip each time again. That's it, exactly. So again, you've got that forearm mobilizing the movement. Good. And a little bit more as you press the jaw out, let the hip slightly press forward. And then just see if you can take figure of 8. Now when you switch it this way, you're going to get an extra rotation in the weapon. As you switch the hand over, you'll get an extra movement there. So the key now is, I do it this way. Think about the Joe, the switch is going to be made at the side of the body. So yeah, that's it. So when it goes to the side, that's it. That's it. Yeah. If you get lost, the best thing with just take it from progressions. If you get lost with this, I go back to this one. I get lost with this all the time, so I go back to this one, and then I go back to this, going to this one. So you get that feeling kind of extended, getting the hips in. As soon as I kind of comfortable with that, I start to let the hip take it out. If you get really stuck with that one, you can also go back to where both hands just kind of take it. And I'm just focusing on getting that.
Thank you. I'm going to practice more.
It's okay. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. That's nice. Okay. We'll do another exercise here. It's based on the same movement of the hip, but this time what I want to do is let one foot go forward. So we're going to make a slight difference with this in that we're not going to work on the center of the weapon, but just off it. So you don't want the weapon to be too heavy with this. You don't want to work too high, but just be a little bit closer to the top of the weapon rather than the middle. So you want to have just one foot forward. I'll start with my right foot, and the right hand holds the bit. And you look for that same movement, which is just a kind of figure of 8. And again, you're gonna, in this one, just start by bracing the elbow again. But you've got the feeling again that the forearm, the wrist, can really mobilize that movement. And I'm gonna use a little bit of a kind of rocking motion with the body. So at the same time as I'm rolling the stick out, I'm going to slightly shift the weight forwards and backwards. So, and as much as you can here, just watch the space here. Let the stick kind of go forward with it. I feel like it's quite an awkward position first. If I get the hip behind the movement, I want to feel a little bit like I'm casting the tip out to the front. That's it. So the weapon's just passing the side of the body each time. So you just got a little bit more weight in the arm. That's it. Yeah, good. And same thing, just play when taking the other leg forward. So in this case, my left leg, left arm takes the jump. And I'm just looking for nice, kind of easy, light movement. The jaw shouldn't feel too heavy. If it feels too heavy, you feel like getting a bit of strain in the shoulder. Just take it down a little bit more towards the middle. Just watch the weapon as it passes the body, especially in the face. Great. Good. And then we'll just look at a few movements which are about having both hands on the weapon and basically being able to turn the jaw over. So the first one's nice and easy. Just take it in the center with one hand. That hand's going to be at the bottom of the weapon. Okay, your other hand's going to be at the top, just kind of in the palm, and you're going to just lightly let the hand just slide down over the top, as if you bring like the hands together like a sandwich on the top with the stick in the middle, and then you're going to flip the hands over. And you're going to send the top hand to the end. So the bottom hand stays all the time at the base of the weapon. You shoot the hand in, bring the palms together, flip them over, and shoot to the end. What you're doing also with this, not only getting used to manipulating the jaw from the center, but also just getting used to where the ends are, and just really trying to do it through touch. So just getting used to the weight of the weapon, and just knowing through touch when I get to the end. So let that kind of slide through. So, yeah, and once you get used to this, you can basically do this in one motion. So as the hand's coming over, you start to flip it. So you're starting to, again, really manipulate it through the center, and then the hand switch. So, yeah, perfect. And then we'll just do a little bit of body work with this. So the first one is kind of changing the side each time. So I want you to just take a posture, one side with 1 foot forward. Look for the same movement as I'm going to turn to the back. I'm going to bring that hand into the center. I'm going to turn the jaw, and I'm going to find the back. So as I want to turn, bring that hand in, and slide it back that way. That's it, perfect. Ideally, you want the whole body to kind of generate the movement. So kind of pressing the feet into the ground, really sit against the hands. You want everything to just go together. That's it. Nice. And we'll do one that's a little bit more challenging. This is changing to the front. So I'm just changing from right side to left. In this case, I'm going to bring the jaw up to the top of the head. So a little bit more challenging in terms of the weight of the jaw kind of coming up to the top. what I want you to think about is, as you make that switch, think of the weight really sinking down. So as you step the feet together, keep the weight settled down in the body. So the knees stay released. And I want to keep the weight underneath the structure. So first when you start, you can kind of do this 1, 2. As you get used to this, you just start to make it smooth movement. Changing right side, left side. And then now just play with these two movements, so you can do these alternating. Switch sides, like change left side, right side. You can also change the direction. Just play, you kind of alternate the movement. Then the key thing is that the whole body goes together. Holds it, and you want to really focus on kind of smooth transition through the hands. Smooth as possible. So we'll come back to these in a second, but we'll just go into the idea of thrusting with the weapon. So the first few, just take a posture of the feet, as if you're kind of gluing the feet down. Now we're going to focus on the idea of just letting the weapon feed through the hand. So the front hand's open, just enough that I can let the grip slide through. And you want to feel that the back arm, like a kind of pendulum, like a heavy pendulum, just swinging in an arc. That's it. And just keep the weight down. And there's a little bit of a shift of the body weight through the feet. But I'm not focusing on kind of lifting the feet at this point, just releasing the shoulders. And you're focusing on this kind of downward arc with the arm. So, especially focusing on kind of releasing the shoulder as much as possible. And then we'll just go to the idea of working with the feet. So you want to start with the Jo now at the back here. And I want you to just focus on this idea of like a 1-2 step. So you press down and then you bring the feet in. Don't think about power with the thrust. A little bit like you're just placing the weight or kind of pointing with it. So you want to just kind of press the forward in, press the feet into the ground, and just as if you kind of gently connecting the jo to if you can think like kind of landing into a wall. Just stop. So you're starting at the back here, and you're going to feed it through, and it's going to finish somewhere around the front shoulder with that hand. So it's quite a big arcing movement. I don't want to go too far with this, going to start to pull me out. I don't want to kind of jam it too close to the body. So just let it kind of arc out to that position. And the feel's just as if you're kind of touching with the tip of the jo. Touching them. No power, just looking at coordination. And then we'll just go into a little bit of focus with the end of the weapon. So as you complete the arc and you find a weight in the ground, what you're going to do is just allow the hand to just squeeze gently onto the weapon. The squeeze is mostly done with the back of the grip, so the little finger, the ring finger. And it's the feeling that both hands are kind of squeezing in at the same time. So as you complete this arc, you're just going to let the hand tighten on the jo. And then if you come back, just release the grip again. So you've got a kind of soft grip here. And then you go in, find the thrust, and let them kind of squeeze onto the grip a little bit. Just kind of squeezing, tightening movement. What you're looking for is the focus in the hand, so that squeeze in the hand is the same feeling that's happening in the feet as you land your weight into, so that weight down is being matched by the focus out. The feeling of downwards weight, downwards pressure, and also extension out. That's it. That's it. So, great. Good. Okay, go to the other foot now, and we'll run through the same progression. So just have the feet down wide, and just let the weight kind of settle down. And then just working this idea of an arc with the back arm, letting the front hand be nice and loose enough that I can kind of feed it through. Just playing with that arc through, and really focusing on releasing the arm through that whole arcing movement. So it's kind of pendulum swinging quality. And then again, bringing the feet into it, you're going to start with the jo at the back here. Just bring the feet in, and as if you just touch out with the tip of it. So if you just place into a wall, let the weight settle down between the feet, reach out with the tip. And again, you've got that arcing movement happening through the hand. The hand at the back is just going to finish again, round about the front shoulder, round about level with the front shoulder. Right. And then just bringing the idea of the focus into the grip now. So as you land the feet and land the weight and complete the arc in it, just allow the grip to squeeze onto it, onto the weapon, and then release it as you come back. Squeeze it on like a pulse, and then comes off. As you come back, squeeze it on, and back. So you want to focus on kind of concentrating all the energy into the tip of the weapon. At the same time, keeping that groundedness in the feet. Keeping the weight down. Right. And then just take these thrusting movements into the moves we did before. So we did these rotations where you change to the back side, or a rotation where you go above the head and you change the side. What you want to do is just every movement in between, find a thrust and then change the side. Find a thrust on that side and then change side. I'm just looking for nice smooth transitions as you switch. A nice grounded body as you thrust in. So heavy, focusing on the concentration out on the tip. And smoothly transitioning over. You can move around the space. You can use objects as targets. You don't hit them. We'll just take this to one more movement. So rather than a thrusting movement now, we're going to look at the striking movement, which is primarily kind of downwards movement. And what we're going to do is we'll just do this on the right side. You take the left hand on the base of the weapon, and the right hand just a few kind of hands width up, or a couple of hand width up in front. The right hand in front in this case. I'm just going to play with bringing the joke to the back and then releasing it into the cut this way. So you do this with the hands and feet together. You can bring the right foot back. Then you can bring it forward as you drop it down. What you're looking for is kind of horizontal finish, kind of parallel with the ground. So as you raise it up, you're going to touch into the back, drop into the hips, and then drop the stick forwards. So hands a little bit narrower now than they were before, or a lot narrower than they were before with the thrusting motion. You just want to focus on the idea of the weight again dropping down. The arc in this case is a downwards arc that way, and you just want to let the arms focus in front of the body. Again, you've got this feeling of the concentration of the body going into the tip, from the hips to from the center of the body into the tip of the weapon. So just a few here, then we'll incorporate the ski into it. Okay, so there's 3 levels you can work with this. They're all the same, but the idea is the first level is just letting the arms kind of arc through. So I'm just going to let the arms just swing through. So it's that same idea like we did with the swings before. I just want the shoulders to be loose, and I just want the arc to be kind of uninterrupted, basically. Just letting mostly kind of grab as you drop the stick. The next level from that is just the idea we're going to kind of placing it. So as if the stick just kind of sticks at the kind of level of the hips, or just when it gets kind of parallel with the floor. Over that. Just that idea. It's like I'm kind of placing it onto a table in front of me. Placing it in. That's it. Placing it in. Good. And then once I got that idea, what I want to do is just as the stick comes into that position, I want to gently kind of grip into it with the stick, with the hands. So it's like the hands again, they're kind of squeezing from the back of the grip. And I'm going to do that together. So both hands kind of squeeze onto the weapon together. So it's that same idea. I've got the arc. I'm placing it at that level. And then I just want to feel that I'm just focusing in with the hands. Focusing in with the hands. And pulse from the center of the body to the hands, and then translates to the tip. So you can just work with these 3 levels. The last movement we'll do is just to blend this together with a thrust. So you're going to start this with the left side of in the thrusting position. So it goes, it's 3 moves. You thrust onto the left, you can draw the body back slightly, bring the hands together at the top of the head, and then you're going to rotate, and you're going to strike forward with the leg. So you're finishing in the same position we just done here. Right hand on the front of the shoulder. This is always left side thrust, up to the top. And you're going to change the end of the weapon, step through with the right foot and find the strike. So you just want to come back every time to the left. 1, 2 up to the top, and then 3, stepping with the strike. Give it a try. Step. Now. Good. Yeah, the main thing to focus on this is the kind of transition with the hands. So you go from this position where the hands are quite wide on the stick to this position where the hands are close together. And then you've got the third position where the hands are a little bit narrow, closer together. So you've got a kind of wide posture with the hands, close, and then a little bit more open, but not as open as in the thrust position. So just focus on that kind of transition. This is wide. And they come close together, and then they open again. Forward strike, blend to the top, and then a downward striking. Yeah, that's it. Good. Good. Last minute, just kind of play with these three. These movements we were doing before, we're kind of switching, and you can also bring in now this strike to the top of the head. But just play. The key thing to focus on is whichever you do, you're going to do the simplest pattern you like, but the key thing is focus on the whole body going together. Whole body together. 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 So it's not really a matter of like what you're doing, but how you're doing it. In this case, you just want everything together. Together, together. Let's explore a little bit less, 30 seconds or so. Okie dokie. Okay, great. We'll stop there. So, if anything you're not sure of, just let me know. I'll kind of repeat it with questions. Put that up. Very good. Great. どうもありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。
Great.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.